What's going on, everyone? This is Vance Apollo, and this is my weekly show where I talk about everything that has happened in the past week. And let's start this week's show with nerd news. And in the only bit of nerd news that I got, Martin Scorsese is set to produce a Joker origin movie. Hangover director Todd Phillips is set to direct and co-write this movie. It has been reported that Jared Leto will not star as the Joker in this origin movie. Also, this Joker origin movie will not be connected to the current DCEU. And all I have to say is, does anyone at WB know what's going on with the DCEU? Because I sure as hell don't. I mean, seriously, there is so much news that's going on with DCEU. Like, it's almost like no one knows what they're doing and they're just trying to find things to do. Because first, it's Martin Scorsese is going to produce this Joker origin movie that's not even connected to the DCEU. And now there was some news that I couldn't even fathom because I couldn't believe it. That's why I'm not reporting on it. But the writers and directors of Crazy Stupid Love are set to write and direct a Joker and Harley Quinn solo movie. I don't know what's going on. Like, with the success of Wonder Woman, I really thought that the DCEU was gaining some type of steam, but I guess the producers and the head honchos at WB just are wanting to go in a totally different direction with this whole Batman family, Batman origin thing, because they know that Batman is one of the most profitable characters in the DCEU. I mean, I know they've had their failures with Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad, which I don't care what anyone says, those were not good movies. I've heard people say they were good, but they're not good movies at all. And don't forget to mention that there is a Gotham City Sirens movie that is starring Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn already coming out. So just to keep score of everything, there is a Harley Quinn-led Gotham City Sirens movie. There are set to produce and direct a Harley Quinn Joker solo movie, and now they're doing a Joker solo movie that's not even connected to the DCEU. I don't know why DCEU or WB is doing this, but don't put all your eggs in one basket and just see what's going to happen, because that's not going to work. Don't get me wrong, I really do love DC and I do love Marvel. I love DC as much as Marvel, and I do want them to make great movies. Like, I mean, no matter what I'll say about Batman v Superman, visually it was great, and Man of Steel was great, but other than that, I'm getting more and more confused. I'm just confused. That's what it is. I'm confused. And I think people at WB are confused, and I think people at DCEU are just confused. But enough of that rant, on to the next story. And now on to sports news. And in the first bit of sports news, let's talk about the massive Kyrie Irving, Isaiah Thomas trade deal. And this past week, the Cleveland Cavaliers traded Kyrie Irving to the Boston Celtics for Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, and the Nets 2018 first round pick. Kyrie Irving, who is a four-time All-Star and a All-Star MVP, was the first round in the 2011 NBA draft. So everything I said about this whole trade just may be forgotten about because the Cavs may void the whole thing. So one of the biggest trades of this whole NBA summer may not actually happen. And in the last bit of sports news, it came out that Jon Jones failed a drug test before UFC 214. UFC 214 was the place where Jon Jones won back his UFC light heavyweight title against Daniel Cormier when he knocked him out in the third round. Before the event, Jon Jones tested positive for Turbinol, which is a steroids banned substance in the UFC. Last Tuesday night, UFC President Dana White stripped Jon Jones of the UFC light heavyweight title. Previously, Jon Jones came off of a year-long suspension from the USDA for testing positive of a banned substance. And now reports say this new ban can be up to 4 years. All I have to say is I honestly don't know who I'm more disappointed in. I mean, I love the UFC and I think Jon Jones is a great fighter, but this is really unacceptable. First, for Jon Jones for, again, getting himself in trouble and then being banned from a fight. Like, I don't know, like, this is maybe the third or fourth time this guy has gotten in trouble for just being stupid. I would say this guy can't catch a break, but that would assume that this stuff isn't his fault. Honestly, all of this is his fault. The hit and run that he did, the cocaine that he snorted, and now testing positive for a banned substance. I just don't know what to say anymore. And even though I love the UFC, I'm extremely disappointed in them because they let a guy fight when they knew he tested positive for a banned substance. Like, the UFC has done it many times before, but at a certain point, you just have to stop doing it. First, it was Brock Lesnar being tested positive. Now it's Jon Jones, and Jon Jones won a title off of it. If I were the UFC, I would talk to somebody. I would talk to Dana White. I would talk to somebody to fix this, because you can't just test people positive. You can't test people that are positive for a banned substance and still let them fight. I don't care if it's about the money. I don't care if it's this big event that's going to be history making. It's a banned substance. They're cheating. Cheaters don't prosper or win. I don't care who you are. But of course, this is just my opinion, and I know there are other different opinions out there. So in the comment section down below, what are some of your thoughts on this whole thing? Before I end this, by the time this video goes up, I know that the Conor McGregor Mayweather fight happened, and I'm not going to talk about it here, but I'm going to talk about it on a different video, and I'm going to give my thoughts and analysis on the whole fight because I watched the whole fight. So be tuned to that. Stay in tune for that, I meant to say. But that about wraps it up for today. But from the first story to the second story, I want to know your opinions on everything I talked about in the comment section down below. Like, comment, and share, and I will see you next time.